So, Nostalrius is back in the news again, and I figured that I would do a follow-up video and talk about what's happened and what I think is happening behind the scenes. First off, we'll just go over what Nostalrius is for people that maybe don't know or didn't want to listen to the first video. Nostalrius was a vanilla legacy server that existed for a few months last year before it was shut down. Well, they got a cease and desist letter from Blizzard, and they decided to comply, and they shut down their server. Then a few months later, they had a meeting with Blizzard. I guess everything went fine, and then I guess Nostalrius thought maybe whatever they talked about might get announced at BlizzCon, and then BlizzCon happened and nothing was announced as far as legacy servers, or even really acknowledging Nostalrius at all. So then Nostalrius decided they were going to take the code that they used on Nostalrius to run it and open it up to make it easier for other people who want to make legacy servers, be able to do that more easily. The first people they gave the code to try this out was Asylum, which is I guess pretty popular, and they used their code. Everything seemed to be running fine, and now we're at what happened. Nostalrius, for whatever reason, decided to have a change of heart and asked Asylum to stop using their code and to shut down, so that somehow that would help make legacy servers happen officially. Asylum kind of half-heartedly complied. They're stopping using their code and letting people from Nostalrius bring their people over from there. But they're still going to operate. They're still going to be, around. So if you've been playing on it, you're fine. So Nostalrius seems to think that doing what they did by trying to open their code and making it easy for anyone to make private servers was hurting their goal, which ultimately is to have official legacy servers. So they decided to stop doing that and ask Asylum to basically shut down and stop using their code. Like I said, Asylum only half-heartedly did that and just decided not to use their code anymore. They're using different code now on their servers. Let's see. So back when Nostalrius decided to do this, opening up their code, I thought it was a bad idea at the time, and I still think it was, because what they essentially were doing was saying Blizzard didn't say anything, didn't acknowledge us, so now we're just gonna use the code, instead of being maybe a little bit more patient about what's going on, because it's not like Blizzard can, just turn around on a dime and do legacy servers. things like that take usually, a year or more to start, implementing and get to where they can actually say, yeah, we're going to do this. Also, by doing this, they opened up themselves to more legal litigation, which, if they did this, by doing this, they could have been, in court for years, basically stopping any hope of having legacy servers for WoW. I think that at some point they figured this out, that it wasn't going to go well if they continued down the road that they were going. I don't know if it was just like a self-realization, or maybe they got some sort of message from Blizzard saying to stop it. And, maybe they even told them something that could be coming around the corner soon. That it's close to legacy servers or something. I don't know. Who knows? But, yeah, for now, they've pretty much just kind of an activist group for legacy servers. Surprisingly, though, when they did open up their code and Asylum started using their code on their servers and allowing people who had an account on Nostalrius transfer that over to Asylum, only 10% of the people that played on Nostalrius ever did that. So, Nostalrius seems to think that it's because people who play on these private legacy servers are, I guess, now being called pirates. I don't know how much truth there is in that. They cite the goal was to relieve pressure on Blizzard by providing a home for vanilla WoW in order to lower tensions and begin building a WoW community that includes legacy WoW players. Which, I don't know how they thought that was gonna work, but whatever. But yeah, as of today, they stopped transfers to Asylum, and they were hoping an Asylum would bring out, join them and shut down, and because they seem to think that between the Nostalrius and Asylum, they've shown that people want legacy servers, which I still feel like it's very much of a niche thing. I think a lot of people seem to think they want to have it, but once they actually try it, go back to then, they're gonna go, oh shit. Because I know, I didn't necessarily want them, but when Asylum opened with the Nostalrius code, I tried it for like 5 minutes. And I'm just like, okay, I didn't play in vanilla. I played maybe like mid BC. I got into it, and it was leveling a character, and I was just like, wow, I remember this, and I don't miss it at all. And I know some people within my guild that play it, and they love it. They've been playing it more than they have been regular WoW. But I don't know. I guess to each their own. I think, truthfully, the fix to this is to find some way to allow people to do this on their own. To be able to, somehow license the code so that, if someone wants to do a WoW legacy server, they can just do that. I really think that's the fix for this. Because I don't really think there's enough people that want this that it makes sense for Blizzard to do it for themselves. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with Nostalrius. This probably will be the last time we hear about them, since if you read the forums of their letter to everyone, they pretty much just want to burn it to the ground. Yeah. So yeah, until next time, bye.
Standing on the porch in the night, thinking how we used to be way back in time. In time. Barefoot on the grass, open skies. I can feel it every time I close my eyes. My eyes.